name is Charlie Banks, and I'm a 16-year-old kid who started the Young Minds podcast to spread the word of God. And it is my goal that through this podcast, you learn, you laugh, you cry, whatever it may be. I just hope that you enjoy it and maybe grow in your relationship with Christ. But always remember that this thing that the Lord is starting is way bigger than any of us. So let's get after it. All right, welcome to the podcast, man. How's it going? Introduce yourself, and then we'll get rocking and rolling.
Okay, I'm glad to be here, Charlie.
Yeah.
My name is Ethan Gibbons. I'm 15 years old, and I've been helping on a sound team since after COVID.
Yeah. Honestly, I walked in, and you're probably one of the first people I see every Wednesday, just because you're always in there messing with the soundboard for the youth. But if you could, go into your testimony a little bit. I know that it's kind of simple, but just go into it, and we'll go from there.
So I grew up in a Christian home.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised in church. We went to a lot of different churches.
Yeah.
The one I probably went to for most of my life was Crossroads.
Uh-huh.
Although at my third grade year, I switched and came to Northside.
Yeah.
And I started in Bobby Tucker's class.
Oh, what? How do you?
That was a pretty good class.
Was it? Yeah. Because that was I guess you say before my time, here.
Yeah.
So how many years ago was that? Maybe off the top of your head? It's okay if you don't know.
Years ago?
I'm
in ninth now.
So
probably about almost 6 years.
Wow,
yeah.
Man, you've been there because you were here before the construction. So you've really seen this church change, haven't you?
Yeah, the chapel and the sanctuary.
Yeah,
it used to be much smaller.
Yeah, I can tell by the pictures. It
had such small rows you could barely fit.
And the fact that they put it in the same building.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they made it so much bigger. It's
they just expanded.
Yeah.
They broke down all the walls. During the construction, it looked completely flat and open.
Yeah, because, I've seen some of the pictures of, different people, it's the classic picture, I guess you could say, of everybody in hard hats and, I see Pastor Robbie, Miss Laura, and I saw Shadley, too. I was like, what the? There's, who's not in this picture, right?
Oh, yeah, we had that groundbreaking.
Yeah, I think that might have been what it was.
Before we did it, yeah.
So you kind of said a little bit how you came to Northside, but so you said you went to Crossroads, but was there any other churches before? Was that the main?
I went to a Methodist church.
Yeah.
In Lakeland.
Uh huh. That's far from here.
Yeah, I do not remember the name of it.
Yeah.
I just know it was a Methodist church near. Let's see, I think if you know where McDonald's is in Lakeland,
yeah.
It's right down the road from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only been to Lakeland a few times, but I think I know what you're talking about. So that's interesting. So you went to a Methodist, and you went...
Yeah, my parents helped out with it, so Baptist. When I was little, I went there.
Yeah, it's just kind of my parents go here, so I kind of have to go here, So when you first, heard about, or did you... Well, I don't know if this is the right way to ask it, but you can tell me the story. When you first heard about the position for the sound and lighting for youth, what you do now...
Yes.
Were you... were you instantly yes, I want to do it? Or were you kind of
I was kind of on the edge. It was either joining choir or helping out with the sound team.
Yeah.
And I don't really sing that much, so I decided I would help out with the sound team.
Well, yeah, your brother got that covered.
Oh, yeah. He loves the choir.
Yeah. And I know I've said it before. Dude, this man is animated. He is so animated. Because, I remember when they did, what was it? We Have Seen Him.
Worships? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because that was one of the first times when they did a full-blown, just choir thing that I'd seen.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw him because I couldn't keep my eyes off of him because it was awesome, but so funny at the same time. It's dude, he is just getting into it,
Yeah, he'll close his eyes and just start singing.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know, because he'll be at the Wild Adventures thing, right? Or no? Will he be?
The Wild Adventures?
Yeah.
We're probably going to be there, yes.
Yeah.
We should be there, yeah.
Because Daniel was he invited me, he's you should come to the youth choir and be in the Wild Adventures thing.
Are we introducing We to Kingdom? Or?
No, it's,
King Country?
Yeah, King Country.
Okay.
Yeah, King Country, yep, mm-hmm. So, so you were, you were kind of on the edge of what to do, and you do a great job of, back there. But, was it hard to, learn all that? I know you trained under Noah, but was it hard to learn all that?
Actually, the lyrics, not so much, because I helped out with the ones in the Kingdom Kids Room in 5th grade. Mm-hmm. I helped out with theirs, and that was almost the same thing, except we had videos, so I didn't really have to scroll through everything.
Right.
But once I got on the sound team, Noah showed me how to do everything. He taught me about Per Presenter, showed me the settings on it, the displays, and just started learning from there.
Yeah, and like when because I mean, dang, like Noah's like what only. Well, he's not too far from our age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's in his early 20s. Like, so how was it, training under a guy that's like only like,
a few
years older than you? Like, how was that? Like,
it was pretty good. Yeah, I've known Noah for a long time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, because he's just like, he's always willing to help you. Like, I was telling him stuff even after we did his episode, sitting right here in this room. I said, like, I kind of was looking for some things about doing some other stuff, and he was like, yeah, you can do, I can help you with that. So he's like, and he pulls out this big old iPad of his and starts typing away, So, once you took the job, how was, okay, I've asked that question, sorry. I know that you help with, like, media and AV on Sundays, but what are the things has God allowed you to do, like, volunteer-wise, here at Northside?
At Northside?
Yeah, that you can think of.
Like,
have you helped in the cafeteria and stuff, too? Or is that
I helped set up the state night,
the
wild game supper. I can't remember the name of the last one we did. Mm-hmm. It was a men's night we had or something.
It might have been men's discipleship something?
That might have been it, because I helped set up with that. Because my dad, Jamie Gibbons, helps out a lot with the grill team and all that.
Yeah.
So we're always bad there.
I mean, because if it's something that's got men in the title, there's going to be a grill somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
especially state night.
Yeah, I mean, because I figured you did a few other things too. Going in, because I mean,
I told for 6 years.
Yeah, I told this to Noah. It's like, and it's changed now since he's the youth pastor. You'd see that man shuffling around all over the place, because that's how it is with y'all too. Always going around, like in the Life Center when something's going on. Youth are always going around, So, like, one thing that I asked, Mikey was, he was talking, like, the topic that he brought up was, and I'm sure you've listened to it because he was like, here, listen to this, like, twice.
Yes.
But one thing he brought up was about, like, his work ethic and trying to put his all into things, especially like Chick-fil-A, and I know you work there too. Like, who doesn't work there at this point?
It's like almost everybody.
Almost everybody works there. But what's some other things besides, your job that you really try to put your all into when it...
My Bible study.
Yeah.
Probably maintaining a quiet time and at night usually. Yeah,
that's really important, because that's hard to do. It's like if you're really tired, like
I know, it's like you just want to hit the pillow, but then you're like, I want to read my Bible.
It's like, I need to read. It's like, I want to read. I need to read. Like, come on, get up, splash your face with water or something.
Yeah, you gotta keep your weight.
Even if it's just like a chapter,
Oh yeah.
But in terms of our youth here, like, we have a lot going for us, right?
Oh yeah.
So like, this is an interesting question, because some people, they have different views on it, and it depends on... I don't remember what your brother said, because his episode was like... It feels like eons ago. Yeah, probably, I think months ago now.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it was like one of the first ones...
I think it was before Chick-fil-A opened back up, right?
That's how I was able to grab it.
So that was before March.
Yeah, it was like in December, something like that. Yeah, because I grabbed him, because he was like, I'm like free, so I was like, until
the remodel was finished.
It's like, come here,
Oh yeah.
And I've said that before, but he comes in here with 3 pages of notes ready to go.
Yeah, he will write an essay.
Yeah, like, I mean, I told him, you can write some notes if you want to. Yeah, he wrote some notes all right. That's like, and I tell people, it's like, you ain't got to go all like that, I tell them that, But yeah, but when it comes to our youth, are you like, for me, going to the school, like, it's about 50-50. But are you... Like, because we're the future, right?
Yes.
And Pastor Robbie makes that abundantly clear. He even brought me up on stage for an example.
Yeah.
But are you worried about the future, or are you like, are you hopeful for it?
I'm hoping it goes great.
Yeah.
Hoping to share the gospel with a lot more people than I have. And I'm hoping to see this church grow even more than it has.
I mean, we're almost at 1,000 people, I think, joined. I think.
You're probably not wrong.
I asked, Landon, when I interviewed him, I was like, you know how many people off the top of your head? And he said, I think we're close to 1,000. And I was like, dude, what?
Should be about right,
I mean, that was just so awesome to me. Like, there's that many people, and like, we've not gone many days without a baptism.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
We've gone one Sunday, I think, this year without a baptism.
Really? Only
yes,
one?
I think so.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I think Robbie was bragging about that last Sunday.
Yeah, I mean that's so cool, you know.
Yeah, it's amazing what the Lord's doing.
Yeah, I mean, and also we talked about it in the not really Noah's sermon, but you know, just Pastor Josh talking and all the testimonies we had. You know, the Argentina, right? I bet you, and probably including myself a little bit, we all kind of felt that tug a little bit. Like we can go, like it's like, ooh, I got a year to decide this thing, you know. But you know, because they, I'm trying to get some people on that went on that, but you know, because they went on an Argentina trip, and dude, the pictures that came out of that, it's like that's so cool. Yeah, I mean, they're so cool to look at that, and it's like, you know, and that's people you know too. It's like, yeah, let's go, God. Like, you're putting people that I know that, you know. And has Mikey been on a mission trip before?
Yes, me and him went on a mission trip to Savannah last year for the youth choir.
Yeah.
We helped out with a VBS at, I think it was Westside Baptist Church. Mm-hmm. I might be wrong, but it was something with West.
Yeah.
And we helped them do their VBS for about 3 days. Although we were up there for 5 days, we went around the other 2 days. We went to a park. We set up all our equipment and all that, and we would just sing. We hooked up speakers. Awesome. I think we may have led a few people to the Lord. Yeah. There.
Hey, if it's just one person, that's you know.
One person is worth it.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, there's also, I think there's. I was gonna say, you know, there might be an influx, but who knows? This might, you know, or like an increase of people going on mission trips. But you know, that might always be happening. Of course, like some people, it's like. My thought process: how do you why do you want to miss this stuff going on? There's so much.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. You know, like some of the things I think about was like back in the beginning of the year, like the Asbury revival stuff like that. You know, if you looked into any of that stuff, you know what was going on.
I do. Yeah.
That's college kids right there. You know, like
spreading the gospel.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't know how many people were in there, but there's people outside of the place. There's people inside. Like, and then people were like, "Oh, it's just like." It's probably not nothing. Well, how can you disregard that as nothing?
Yeah, you know, so many people come to Christ.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, and I just did like there, and I saw some of the criticisms. I'm like, just stop and like it's like in the nicest way possible. Please just shush and just let the Lord work, please. Like, you know,
let's just look around, look at what the Lord's doing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, especially here in Northside, like you said. I mean, there's so much going on. I mean, and you know, one thing I did notice too, which was so cool, is a lot of the baptisms when I first got here. Yeah, we're kids, you know.
Oh yeah, a lot of Kingdom kids, especially when Eddie joined, like and started doing the kids pastor now.
Yeah,
we've seen a lot come up and get baptized.
Need to interview Eddie. I need to do that, but and that's great. You know, I mean, is there not a position that's not filled by somebody now? Like,
I don't know if anyone's taken Mr. Sanchez's spot as the finance director.
Yeah, I don't. Who knows? But I mean. That is just so cool that we have pretty much all the spots filled, and the people want to be in them.
Yeah, they love their jobs.
Yeah, you know, and I'm so glad they do, because it's like a well-oiled machine in here. Everybody's got a part to play, you know, from you doing the soundboard on youth, or, you know, helping with, like, because you also help with Sunday mornings too,
Yes,
right?
I help with the Purpose Center also there, or the cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is it like, you know, up there, because I know where it's at, it's up on the, like, in the...
we got the sound booth on the top.
Yeah.
On the balcony, but we have everything else in the back room, actually in the lobby.
Yeah, that's right, because Noah told me that. Yeah.
We finally moved to a larger room.
That's good.
About a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good.
Because, I mean, if it was the room that I'm thinking of, then it's really cramped.
It was small, yes.
You know, because was the room like right in the front of the church?
Room, yes.
In there?
That
bro, you can't move in there. Looks like, you know, because I didn't ever go in there because I thought I would
everything in there.
Yeah, because I didn't want to go in there because I thought I was like intruding or whatever, but I'm like, how can they, like, if that's the room I'm thinking of, you know, how can they fit everything and, like, maneuver in there? It's like, we messed this up, like, whoa, reach over, you know. But I've always wondered, like, if, like, something happens, like, when Pastor Robbie says, can you put that up on the board and it doesn't happen? Who it was, and I'm like, it's like, I know, but I'm like, who did that? It's like, you know, just out of curiosity. But you obviously can hear him.
Yeah, we have speakers in there hooked up, and we will have him projecting off of those.
Yeah.
That way we can hear everything going on in the sanctuary.
Oh, cool. So you can pretty much get a sermon just like sitting in there, and then you just have to, you know.
Just have to make sure we click notes.
Right.
Got it all up there.
Yeah, because it always makes me laugh and chuckle a little bit when, like, it flips to the next thing, and it flips back, and it flips back, and it's like, what are you trying to do back there? You know?
That's when we can't really hear sometimes. Sometimes speakers will cut out, and we won't be able to hear them.
It's We're like, just guessing. Has there ever been a time where it's cut out completely? And, like, you couldn't hear them? Oh, no. Like, what did you do then?
I'm quite sure that happened. I don't remember if we stopped live stream.
Yeah.
And faded to black, but...
Well, you still have to control or is that just for live streaming, or is that, like, you also have to control the screens up on top? Like, for people...
For live stream, we also control the visual.
Yeah.
We moved cameras.
Right.
Except for the one straight on Robbie, that one is main cam.
Yeah.
We have a person doing that usually.
Yeah, I can see them back there, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean... I've always wondered about that, because, I mean, you know, obviously at the time you're like, yeah, I'm not laughing, but, like, you know, after you think about it, like, yeah, that's kind of funny. Like, well, there was one time where Pastor Robbie wanted a picture put up on there. I think it was when he went on a mission trip, maybe Mexico when he went.
Oh, yeah, he asked for the Mexico picture.
Yeah.
We didn't have it on.
And he was
so
like,
we had to
it's like, can you put it up there? And he was like, still not up there.
Yeah.
Where's it at? Like, can you put it up there, please? Like, that was just really, really funny.
Yeah, he caught us all by surprise.
Yeah, I mean, just like he caught me. You weren't in the You weren't in the.
I was.
You were in the early service?
In the room. Yes,
dude.
And we had no idea what he was talking about.
Me neither. Okay, so, you know, but also he so I'm talking about when he like brought me up on stage that like past Sunday. Were you in there for that?
Yes.
You were
this Sunday. Yes.
Yeah, dude. What the heck? We were like, because obviously we didn't know. Yeah. And we all, like, so we're in this big row.
Ethan.
Me, Noah, Ethan, Chase, and Baines. We're all sitting there in this row, and he's like, come up here. And I'm like, you're joking, right? Like, you know, we didn't know if he was like...
If he was kidding.
No, we didn't. And so we were like, okay, let's go up there and see what happens. And, you know, it's my grandma. Half the time, she don't know how to work the thing. Half the time. But on this day, she knew how to work the app. She did it.
Oh,
so she sees me, but bebopping up to the stage and, like, you know... following the pastor's orders, and I don't know, you probably could see it, I don't know, but I was like, stupid grinning while I was sitting up there.
You're smiling the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it was funny, like, because I was like going there like, what is he doing? Like, you know, but there's, one, I was going to say, you're never safe. Two, you never know what Pastor Robbie's going to do. He might pull whoever. He might pull
a trick.
Yeah, honestly, like, I mean, because I think did he even do it in the next service too?
He did, yes. Yeah. He had all the new Northside staff members, I think it was, come up there and do it. Yeah. So he had Noah, he had, I think Josh, he had Mikey, Caleb, Park, and I can't remember who.
See, no one's safe. He got us all. Like,
I know. It was a long line to second service.
Really? Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, how many people come to the second service? Like,
oh my gosh.
A lot. I mean, you know.
Probably about over sometimes 700.
Good Lord. Yeah. It's crazy. And there's around 200 in the first one, which is crazy enough. Yeah. But I do remember, like, Easter, it was actually fuller on the earlier one than it was the late one.
Oh, yeah, that was different. Because everyone came in the first service.
Well, right. And they did that probably because they wanted to spend time with their family. So they went to the early one. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. We got so many people in here.
I know. It was
because we sat down and we're like, it's filling up in here, like, a pretty good bit. What's going on? You know? But that was really, really fun. And, the ones that were all together, it's like, dude, that makes you realize how many people are actually in this church. Yeah. Like, you know, you sit there and you go, oh my gosh, there's so many people, what the heck? You know? And, like, I always get stuck with because it's not hard to do. There's always somebody taller, like, that sits on the row in front of me, so I'm like...
So you can't see him.
No, and I'm like... Thank goodness for the screens up there.
Oh,
like, you know, thank goodness for them. But for somebody who is, you know, like, as youth, we face a lot, right? You know, in, like, today's time, right? And I don't know how your school is, but, you know, but mine, you know.
Do you have Valdosta?
No, go to Lowndes.
Lowndes?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's still, you know, either Valdosta or Lowndes.
It's a little bit better than Valdosta, but...
Is it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's true. I mean, they're probably not far behind, but, you know... There's a lot that we face in terms of whatever it may be, like schoolwork, whatever, you know. Yeah. But what would you say to somebody, you know, our age, or heck, anybody's age, really, you know, that's, you know, like trying to figure out to navigate this world biblically, but like they're struggling to figure out how to do that?
Basically, spend time in God's Word, see what He has to say, what He thinks about, what His thoughts are on situations, because you can basically figure out God's mindset by reading His Word.
Right.
And you can also go into get a better understanding from your youth pastor. Yeah. Or asking just any pastor of this church, especially. They have some great pastors.
I mean, because they will. Yeah. You know, one thing I love is that you can ask any of them, and they will take the time out.
And spend time to talk to you about
exactly.
it.
You know, which that's been one thing that's just been such a blessing. Is like I've been able to schedule like, I had the whole month of May laid out by the time I was like, already before May had hit, right? And that was such a blessing. It's like, not everybody can do that with their podcast. They got to just wait the week of and see who's going to pop up. Which I get, you want to be led, which that's great. Do it how it works. But for me, with school and everything, I like a little bit of a plan here, so I know what's going on, so I can write notes out. And just to have that, many people, like, and there's some into June already. I'm actually recording the ones for June.
All right.
In this month, some of them this month.
And they're going to be released in June, yeah.
Right. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. And that's such a blessing that I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
And like you said, these pastors will like pour into you. Is like, it's amazing because some people, I've heard they have the problem of like churches, like their youth isn't growing, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
yeah, I know.
What you doing? Like, are you pouring into youth or are you criticizing them?
Yeah, then you have to go back to, are you on the foundation of God? Are you using His principles that He gives in His Word? Are you doing His will? Basically, yeah.
Exactly. And I saw something that it said something about like, it was like a biblical meme or something. It had like, talking about how Jesus did it in His time and then like modern churches, but it was supposed to be criticizing modern churches, right? With the lights and all that.
Yeah.
My thing about that is, you can do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? And
yes.
I think Northside is a good example of that. You know what I'm saying? It uses the technology to its advantage, and God uses it as well.
Yeah, and trying to spread the gospel.
Exactly. Like, and my thing is, too, you kind of have to add some of that, too, if you want to attract your youth a little bit. Like,
especially nowadays.
Yeah, because it's like, it'd be a little rough if, you had, I'm just being honest, I don't know if you'd have, as big of a youth presence if you pulled out a Himmel.
Oh, yeah.
Which, and if your church does that, I'm not criticizing whatsoever.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's great, but just
nowadays songs.
It was a little rough. Like for me, it was when I was going to see Miles Hannon. He was speaking at Platteville.
Yes. Oh, they have quite a bit of the old songs.
Yeah. They have the Baptist hymnals, and I was like, Mom opened the book, and I was like, what am I? I didn't know how to follow it.
Oh yeah, how the lines work.
Right.
1, 2, 3,
because
4. Yeah.
I had seen like music lines and stuff before, but it's been so long. Like
you won't remember.
Yeah. I've not been in like choir or whatever in so long. I was like, what am I looking at? Like what? But it was funny because Miss Hannon told me afterwards. She was like, I thought about you a few times how you were gonna like read that, and I'm like, oh, I struggled. I just kind of hummed it. I was like,
Yeah, it's just like follow along with all the other people.
Yeah, because my mom, she knew how to read it, but I was like, what am I doing? And, because like there's no screen. What? It's
like, where are the lyrics at?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna have to pull them on my phone. Like, oh, that's what it says. Okay. Yeah. But this happened. Well, I don't want to say it happens at Lance because I really don't know because I can't attest to this. Now, I have had a little bit of what you might say pushback. And like just today, I was telling Baines about it. It's a little rough. About being a Christian,
Yeah.
And
especially in our present world.
Exactly. Why do you think people, especially people our age, and it's honestly, I put it this way just because it's the Young Minds podcast, but this can be anybody. Often run away when they hear the name Jesus. Like, why do you think that happens?
They usually just have different beliefs. They think they've been raised, probably household.
Yeah.
They probably have been raised thinking that's just a bunch of false teaching. Almost what we're taught, except we are taught that Jesus is life, the truth.
Right.
They're taught in a different matter, so they think theirs is right.
Right.
So it takes a little bit for them to understand that Jesus gave His life to save them. Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing too is that you hear stories all the time. It's like, yeah, I grew up in a Christian home, but it just rubbed me the wrong way, and so I like abandon it. I was like, oh, it's like, why? You almost want to say why, but they had a reason, so you don't want to say like, oh no, you're just wrong for that,
they usually have some.
Yeah. And, when you hear, when you talk to people, they often talk about, like, trauma or whatever, or, like, being treated the wrong way or something like that.
Like past abuses.
Yeah. And I'm like, what did, or I'm not going to say, like, what did your church did wrong? But, I mean, kind of, like, what did they do to steer you away? Because a lot of times it's an issue with,
like,
the church.
Scriptural principles. Yeah.
Like, one thing I think I heard, it was pretty good. It's like, you don't have, or you don't have, but you may have an issue with the church, but you don't have an issue with Jesus, like
because Jesus is perfect.
I mean, because
can't have an issue.
The church is has man in it. We make mistakes, but
yes,
Jesus
man
is perfect
automatically.
Exactly. So, and I always tell people it's like, they think they have to jump straight into. I mean, I'm not saying do not come to church because it is a great place to be, but that's not where you have to start. You can start because the Lord will put you allow you to start.
If it's God's will.
Exactly. Yeah. You could start anywhere. I don't know where that may be for you, but it may be, I don't know.
You can start even a few days in prayer.
Exactly. I mean, you could start in your home, start at your job if you have one. It doesn't matter, really. I mean, if you're praying to Him and putting your all into it, then He's gonna bless that. I mean, regardless of where it is. And now, let me tell you, if you go to a church, though, you're going to feel that fellowship, though, more than you possibly know. Because, I don't think, tell you right now, it'd be funny to see this. Put everybody at Northside in a line and see if Pastor Robbie can name them all off.
Oh, that would be kind of hard because how many people we have?
Exactly. He'll
probably know all of them.
He probably would.
Being there,
he'd be like, "Oh, hey!"
He wouldn't know all the names,
right?
Probably.
And I for sure don't know all the names. I don't even know all of the youth yet. And that keeps growing too. So you're like,
yeah. For a while, I knew all of them, but then we started growing.
Yeah.
And
so for a while, was it smaller? Was it?
Yeah, it used to be about probably 40.
40, and that's still a decent amount.
It was pretty good. Yeah. Some nights would just be barely 20 or something.
Yeah.
Now we're getting to about an average of about 70.
Yeah, and we have. In total, I think we have we sometimes get close to 100 sometimes.
Oh yeah, I think it was last year, one of the now, we got to count about 110, I think it was.
Yeah. I know this past, that we just had, you're wearing the shirt.
Oh yeah.
It was they said 150 plus were worshiping up on the stage.
I think so, yes.
And I'm like,
I know.
Dude,
you should have seen it online. It was packed.
Yeah, because I went and saw the picture afterwards, because I was, for the first service, I don't know if you, could see certain people, but I was up on the very top.
I was up on stage because Noah actually convinced me to get up there.
Did he?
Yes.
Come on. Yeah, I'm glad you were up there. But, because I was up on the very top standing. If you don't know, you know who Eli Willis is?
I think I do, yes.
Yeah, I was standing next to him. He's extremely tall. Compared to me, he's very, very tall. And it was so funny because I'm like, and I was asking people, do you see me? And they were like, yeah, because you're standing next to the 7-foot tall kid. And I'm like, true, yeah. But, that was really, really fun. I don't know about you, but that was one of my favorite parts of the now. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that was great.
What was your favorite part, though, you think?
Probably the fellowship and probably the activities we did. Especially on Saturday. That little run around the church was
fun. That was fun until
you scraped your
until the carpet burn came out. Yeah. But that was an experience because that would be the only time you'd see people running around the church for something.
Oh yeah.
Unless there's an emergency, there ain't gonna be because not many people run around.
Usually, everything's just calm.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Calm.
Except for I think it was 2020's now, right before COVID. We had one called Grounded in the Truth.
Yeah.
And we had a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Basically, we had to go to all these different locations, take pictures and stuff of us doing stuff.
Yeah.
So I was
and was it outside? I'm assuming, or was it inside?
It was outside of Northside completely. Yeah. We went to I think it was I can't remember what Grand Bay.
Grand Bay.
It might have been.
That might have been. Yeah, that'd probably be the place.
Yeah, we went up on top of the tower. We had to take a picture up there.
Ooh no!
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They have that little cage now, so it's
I know,
just
but I'm being honest, I never went up there because it just didn't rub me the right way in terms of safety.
When it shakes.
Exactly. Yeah. That reminds me when I went on that rope bridge at Rock City. If you've ever been up there,
I don't think I actually have.
It's it's on the border of Georgia, Chattanooga, area.
I know Chattanooga.
Yeah, I went up there and there's a rope bridge, and it got real windy, and I'm like, and then and of course, see. Steven being Steven over here.
Did you start jumping?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, because he's like, I'm like, stop. I'm so unstable, bro. Don't do that to me. He was jumping up and down and all this stuff. And I'm like, stop it. And then he just eventually turned around. He's like, yeah. I'm like, just, maybe you sound like a dolphin. That's what my dad says all the time. That's what my dad says all the time. He's like, I don't know where he came up with that, but it was really funny. Okay, so we kind of talked about it, but if you want to kind of sum it up, so how excited, like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10,
Yes.
how excited are for you, like, for the new buildings and everything that's going on for our youth at Northside?
Probably about a 9.
A 9?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, because, I mean, also, too, I was thinking about it, the opportunities for other youth, like, to work in there, right, is going to grow.
Because we're going to have a bigger media team now.
Uh-huh.
And
I'm thinking about hopping on that during the summer, because I want to do something, you know?
Hey, that'd be great. Yeah.
Because Pastor Jeff was like, I want to, like, talk to you during, the 31st or something, and I'm like, bet, you know, because
that's great.
With school out of the way, thank goodness, you know, because, I mean, look, that person...
Because it just adds to the schedule.
I mean, yeah, it does, and plus, like, I mean, there's, like, a lot of things I want to do rather than that, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
So if I can go and just come up here for a bit and do something...
Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah.
And then eventually when school starts back, I'll get community service hours for it, you know, too. Because that stuff... Oh my gosh, you know, because it's a whole thing. I don't know if your school does it, but it's like, you know, the honor cords.
Yeah.
You know? And I used to was not logging them. Probably should have.
Oh yeah, I logged it last year. Mm-hmm. I got over 200 or more hours, I think.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, what was it, just from here or other places?
Just from here, not counting all the other ones I did at my school.
Good Lord. That doesn't surprise me one bit. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, because... I mean, you and your brother both do a ton. You know, I mean, even if it's like even if people don't realize it, they're always somewhere. I promise
we're
you.
Always running around.
You just got to turn around. You know, like for you got to turn around. You know,
yeah, because I'm always right there.
Yeah, and I don't know why in the world I didn't ever you'd always smile at me, and I never walk up.
Never know.
Why did I never walk up to you? I have no idea. Like that was I don't know. I'm just weird like that. Apparently, I just like it. Just you know.
Oh, yeah.
Now, okay. Now, this is the final question, and this is one thing that your brother helped me with, okay? I'm asking in a funny way, because, you know. Okay, so, when's that big day coming, huh? Like, do you know what I mean? Or do I need to elaborate? When are you going to get baptized, huh? He told me about that, like...
Okay.
Yeah.
I've really been praying about it.
I
don't necessarily know the exact date yet.
Yeah, that happens.
Hopefully sometime soon.
Hey, you let me know, and I will drop everything. I will be there. I'm like, you know, okay? Like, you know, I will be there, and I'll be praying about it too, man. You know? I mean, because sometimes it'll just jump right on you, and you'll know right away.
Exactly to go up there, yeah.
Because for me, you know, it was, you know, get saved on Easter, and then the next week... Get baptized, and then bam. But for some people, you know...
Yeah, I've waited so long.
Yeah, I mean, so when did you get saved then? Do you remember that? Like, you remember the age maybe?
Saved about 4 years old.
Okay, 4 years. Man, you've really waited a while.
I know. I've waited years.
Yeah.
I kept almost getting up there.
Uh-huh.
Multiple times I've been halfway up and I just turn around, go back to my seat.
Was it fear or like...
I don't know what would stop me.
Yeah.
It still eludes me what did stop me.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing. You know, like, I remember, you know, because honestly, I'd only been at, like, going to Northside for, like, we went, like, 3 services, and then I got saved and baptized. So it wasn't long. Like, I barely knew anybody, right? Few people. I remember that, like, 'cause you know how it's built? You know, you got the sanctuary, like, the main part of the sanctuary, the stage, and then you have the baptism up there, right? Well, all the choir turns around to look at you.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just, like, putting that out there. They do. And, like... It's so funny because I'm like sitting there going, I don't know if you've ever heard it, but like the Patrick thing from SpongeBob, like, who are you people? Like, I'm like,
when you don't know anyone.
It's like I had no idea who they were, but it was fun, you know. Also, too, just like mine has a funny little nugget in it, and I didn't realize this till I think he just said it. He didn't even tell us till like when he was about to dunk me. Pastor Andy, he was like, yeah, he's the first person that I'm baptizing here. And I'm like, huh? What? Oh, yeah. Really? You know, that was shocking. It's like...
Yeah, I didn't know he hadn't baptized anyone before.
Well, he had, but I think it was at Northside. Like, because I think he'd moved churches.
He might have, yeah. That would make more sense.
I think he moved churches and, you know, like, because he hadn't... How long has he been here for?
You know, I actually do not necessarily
Sounds like he's been here about a year almost.
It
don't sound...
quite a bit long.
Because I think he said that, you know, because he had only been there for maybe a couple weeks, maybe a month. Before I came in, and then they arranged, you know, I don't even know if he was fully, like, a pastor there yet. They were like, you want to go and baptize him?
Yeah.
You know, like, go ahead. And they were just like, and he was like, okay, I'll do it. And then, well, rest is history. But I just found that so funny. It's like, you know, hey. And, like, he was, up there telling and he might, I don't know, depending on who baptizes you, I don't know,
Yeah.
Because it could be a number of people, obviously. I mean,
we have so many people on staff.
Yeah.
And, ordained.
I mean, if you're,
ministers, yeah.
I mean, it depends, but I mean, if you're still, if it's soon and you're still going to be a youth in that sense, it might be Noah.
Oh, yeah.
Which, that's crazy that he can baptize people now,
Yeah,
right?
now he can baptize since he's off the mini team and on the youth.
Yeah, which, dude, I was thinking about it, man. If anybody was going to, go into that spot in place of Landon, I was like, it's got to be Noah. I was just thinking, I was like, it's got to be Noah. And then they said they were going to switch things around. I was like, it's Noah. I know it. Ding.
And then they said
it.
Yeah.
And because I think I even said to a few people, I was like, he needs to be in that type of role, something like that. Because I just felt like he does a very good job.
Good job.
Yeah, and plus he's really funny too. That helps.
Yeah.
Keeps your.
He helps relate to everyone else in the congregation. Yeah.
And that's one thing I think too with our age group.
Yes.
He's just not gotten out of these situations.
Yeah.
So he knows how to relate to us and help us, and also too he doesn't. He knows most of us.
Yes.
Of course, there's people coming. He's got to meet them.
Oh yeah.
And that's with everybody.
That's just a given.
Yeah.
Life.
But he's got a good relationship with a bunch of us, so it's not like he's jumping in blind and preaching to kids that he has
no idea
of the fill of the room whatsoever. And I don't know if I've said this much, but the first person that invited me to Wednesday night was Drew Faircloth.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And dude, I was I was nervous, but also amazed. I was like, there's a lot of kids in here,
oh yeah. Which night did you first come?
Oh Lord! Oh, you're making me dig through my brain. It was September 20th, 21st, something like that.
We would have a lot of people.
Yeah, we had a lot of people then.
Oh yeah.
And we've added a lot of people. Yeah, there was a bunch. But yeah, that was around then, and then I just started coming ever since. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, dude, if he hadn't invited me to Wednesday nights, I probably wouldn't be sitting here doing these here at the church.
Yeah, you wouldn't have the opportunity.
No, because, a lot of times I'll grab people on Wednesday night because, it's a chiller night, whatever, whatnot. But, that was just something that I was thinking. I was like, man, imagine if he didn't invite me and I didn't go. You
would have never gotten to have half the great interviews.
I mean, honestly, half of my interviews are sitting either in this room or somewhere else in this church somewhere. And they've all been really, really fun, including this one,
This is great.
Yeah, I mean, and I try to make it as simple as possible. People are like, oh my gosh, what did I say? I'm like,
it doesn't matter. It's
okay.
Just
be yourself, relax. It's good. You're just talking to me. What am I going to do, bite your head off?
It's not going to roast on.
No, I promise. And I bet you anything after this comes out, people are going to be praying for you too about getting baptized. I can feel it. Yeah. I had a feeling because when your brother told me that, I was like, dude, was like, ooh, I gotta add that in. Ooh, But it was an interesting thing because I mean, how many people know that you haven't been baptized yet?
In this church?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very few.
Noah, Josh, Mikey, and Melon Jackson, Avery, Bellinger. You.
Yeah, me now, surprise,
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's a kind of a tight-knit group, but now the cat's out of the bag,
I know,
man.
now it's going to be, I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so thankful we were able to do this. And, just to think hey, I got another Gibbons on. Who knows? There might be another one. I don't know. Or, both of you at the same time. I don't know.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I mean, because these next few episodes that I'm doing is kind of an experiment. Because I'm going to have, so this week's going to be really busy. So with yours, and then I'm going to have, on Saturday, I'm going to have the Divines on, a little sneak peek for everybody. Yeah. And then, that same Saturday, I'm going to interview 2 podcasters at the same time on the same the same episode. So, 4 people in one day. So, 5 people in a week. Including, counting.
A lot of questions.
Yeah, well, that's a lot. Yeah, trust me. That's a lot of questions. But they're but it's what's so cool to me is that, even with your story's simple, right? And that's fine. People, not everybody has, this,
elaborate story.
Now, me, but it just, that's how it is,
Right.
But one thing that's so cool to me is that I'm able to take people's stories because, a lot of people, they don't have an outlet, right? Otherwise, would you, besides getting up on stage or whatever, would you really say you have an outlet or whatever to tell your story if you wanted to? Maybe somewhere?
Probably some. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere. I mean, Pastor Robbie or somebody would find a place if you wanted to do it, you know. But that's one thing. There's a lot of people that don't have an outlet, or they just have an outlet, but they're like, I don't know if I want to do that one.
Oh, yeah, they don't feel secure doing it. Yeah.
And all, you know, but this way, people can listen to it later, whatever, and then just go back to it, and they're like, okay, you know, this is a cool way to do it. And, you know, and this will be here for, you know, as long as iPhones and whatever else is around.
Yeah, as long as technology keeps advancing.
Exactly.
It'll be good.
Mm-hmm. But, man, it has been a absolute pleasure to have you on. And,
yeah, it's been great.
You know, just the fact that you are only 15 years old and you're the youngest person on so far. Yes. I wonder if anybody's going to break that. That's a challenge. Yeah. You know, we'll see. But as of now, you're the youngest person. And I hope I didn't ramble too much. But
oh, no, it was great.
You know,
yeah.
But I'm glad to have you on, man. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure being here.
Yep. And with that, another episode of the Young Minds Podcast comes to a close. Always remember, you are never alone, and faith is action. So let's get out there.